What you're watching is this live camera that we have there on the border of Israel and the Gaza, and we took it full, if you will. In other words, Blake Berman was on one side and it was on the other side because we saw this. This is live. You are looking live along the border there, and that's live audio as well. I know Trey Yingst is still there with us. From your position in Israel, Trey, is this incoming or outgoing, and what are we watching? He's working to get hooked up. I believe that this is incoming and that what we're seeing is the Israeli defense system, the Iron Dome, as it's so often called, working to intercept incoming. That's my belief. He's on the ground. We'll let him do the telling when he's up, hooked up, and ready to go. Trey Yingst was watching him along with us. It looked as if Iron Dome went to intercept those, Trey. Is that right?
Shep, Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome, intercepted some of those missiles that were just fired from the Gaza Strip into southern Israel. We are getting reports that at least one of those rockets fired from Gaza landed in a nearby city, a town called Sderot, just over the border from Gaza. This is a town that often hears sirens blaring throughout the night when this sort of rocket fire does occur and these clashes between Israel and Gaza take place. What we saw behind me here just moments ago, Shep, and I can hear off in the distance what sounds like some sirens, which means there's likely some incoming rocket fire farther down the Gaza Strip. If you give me 1 second, Shep, I just want to look off in the distance here. We are getting again, in the distance, you can hear a bit of sirens. If it gets any closer, we'll certainly let you all take a listen to that. There's sirens piercing through the night in this region, and people are very used to this sound. They know right where to go. They know right how to get to the shelters that are close to the towns and also close to their homes in towns like Sderot, Ashkelon, Ashdod, many of these towns in southern Israel. But again, what we saw moments ago, Shep, these rockets fired from the Gaza Strip, some of them intercepted by Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome. But again, there is a report that at least one has impacted the town of Sderot. Hopefully, the civilians were able to make it to a bomb shelter like the civilians were able to make it earlier today to avoid any sort of casualty increases in this conflict that is continuing to erupt, Shep.
We've always heard regarding Iron Dome that the more they lob at one time, the more difficult it is for Iron Dome to intercept. And in recent days and weeks, 10 at a time, that's a new level, isn't it?
It is, Shep, and we've seen this sort of rocket fire before. Back in November, a very similar situation as to what we just saw behind us here moments ago, where you'll actually see streams of rockets fired from one position on the Gaza Strip. So those militants there, whether they're with the militant and political group Hamas or whether they're with militant factions such as Islamic Jihad, they're firing these rockets in groups in an effort to try to confuse the Israelis who are trying to shoot them down and also overwhelm Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome. We have spoken with many of these factions inside Gaza this year, Shep. I met with top leaders in Hamas and also Islamic Jihad, and they basically said just about a month ago that they were prepared for war. There's a lot happening in Israel right now, and everyone was concerned that this week and the week after could lead to what we are seeing tonight. There are upcoming Israeli elections on April 9th. This weekend is the one-year anniversary of the Great Return March inside Gaza. These are the Friday demonstrations where thousands of Palestinians have participated each week. And then additionally, on top of all of that, we see the events in the United States today. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with President Trump. So a lot of moving parts here. And then on top of all of that, you have to talk about the Iranian influence in the region, Shep. Oftentimes we understand that these groups are getting directions from top leadership in Tehran. Actually, Hamas officials told Fox News earlier this year that Hamas is providing them with weapons and money. So as you saw President Trump talking today at the White House, that the United States supports Prime Minister Netanyahu and Israel in their efforts to defend their country from threats from Iranian-backed troops in countries like Syria. As it relates to this Golan Heights announcement today, you're also seeing that inside the Gaza Strip with Islamic Jihad and Hamas, those factions there who also do receive support from factions and also high-level government officials in Tehran.